Greetings, scholars. Today I want to pick up with my discussion of writing the critical analysis paper. Uh, on day one, you formatted the title page for the paper in APA format. You copied over all of your instructions from the topic and guidelines. You wrote section one, 4 paragraphs in this section. Uh, First paragraph has information about the work, the title, the author, the publication. You wrote a paragraph of definition, a paragraph of history, and you should have combined D and Roman numeral number 2 into one paragraph. So now I want to talk to you about section 2, the discussion of the tenets of critical race theory. So I have here for you to discuss three of the work's primary tenets. And you're going to do this in 5 to 8 sentences. You're probably going to take more than 8 sentences to do this. So one of the things I want you to remember, keep your section heading. Section 2, discussion of the tenets of critical race theory. That should be in the paper. It should be bold. Okay. You should also keep the subheading first tenet or principle. Get rid of the A, get rid of the B for the second tenet, and get rid of the C for the third tenet. So what I want you to do is focus on writing me a detailed paragraph that has 3 things in it. Okay, so you're going to take the first principle or the first tenet, and you're going to identify that tenet. You're going to state the section and the page number of the tenet in APA format. You're going to use a direct quote from the information. Make sure you discuss and analyze that information. You're also going to interpret in the same paragraph. Interpret what this particular tenet in the introduction means to you. You're going to also analyze. Remember, when you analyze, you're going to focus on what this tenet or how this tenet fits into today's discussion of CRT. Okay, when you interpret, you're going to interpret what it means to you. When you analyze, you're going to analyze this based on the current discussions happening in 2022 surrounding critical race theory. You've watched Don Oliver's video, so you should have a pretty good idea of what is going on today with critical race theory around the country. You're going to repeat the same thing with the second tenet in a solid paragraph, 5 to 8 sentences, 8 to 12 sentences. You are free to go over. Do the same thing. Identify, interpret, analyze the second tenet. Move on to the third tenet. And again, remember, keep your subheadings, second tenet or principle, third tenet, principle. This information has to be there. You're going to do the same thing. You're going to identify, interpret, and analyze. Okay. So on day 2 of writing the critical race theory paper or the critical analysis, I always get them confused. Just bear with me. On day 2 of writing the critical analysis about critical race theory, you are going to focus on these 3 paragraphs, and these should be 3 big paragraphs. Focus on 5 to 8 sentences, but you are free to go over up to 12 sentences as you identify the first tenet, interpret that tenet, and analyze that tenet. Keep your section headings. Get rid of the A, get rid of the B, get rid of the C. Keep the subheadings and make them flush with the left margin. And repeat for each tenet. Give me a good discussion. Give me a very good discussion of your thoughts on critical race theory. That is all I have for this video. I will see you in the next video. As always, if you have any questions, feel free to email me. I will get back to you as soon as possible. I look forward to seeing you in the next video.